Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would share with you guys how I would prepare for a trip. I am really detail oriented, so I really like to get in there to see all of the fees and all of that I may have to come before. So this is going to be pretty detail oriented, but I'm going to talk more so about all of that, but when I write it down it's going to look pretty simple, and I think it will make a lot of sense. I've kind of done like a little mock budget where I have written out all of the numbers so I don't have to go, looking for those. So anyway, as of yesterday, October the 10th, we did get the location and hotel and price of Go Wild for the year 2019. It is going to be May 2nd through the 5th in Las Vegas. And it will be at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So anyway, I have gone ahead and written down all of the fees that I think that I will come before or come against, all of the expenses, all of that. So I'm just going to share with you guys how I would save for a trip. Now, Go Wild is going to be a little different because the tickets don't go on sale for like some months, and typically I would purchase my ticket first if I were going to like a concert. I would purchase the concert ticket and then I would worry about the hotel and how I'm going to get there. Typically I kind of do how I'm going to get there and then the hotel. This one's tricky because I see no point in paying for a flight or a hotel if I don't get a ticket, because the tickets sell out really quickly. But I'm going to try to share with you guys how I'm going to prepare for it, and so that I can possibly get a ticket. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm in my budget planner, and I'm just going to put this back here where I had put the other Go Wild tracker, and this is going to be like a really in detailed breakdown of the actual budget and prices and expenses and all of that. So this is for Go Wild 2019, May 2nd through the 5th in Vegas. And I have gone off of a $2,500 budget, so $2,500 budget, and I think that we can make this work. Anything beyond that would probably be a little much, but as of right now, I have 3 major trips planned for next year, 2 of which I don't have to come out of pocket for, and they're like business trips, and then this one. So this would be the only major trip that I have planned for next year, which I probably spend this much on travel just in a regular year, like on multiple trips. So this would, to me, be considered a major trip. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with the most important thing, which is the ticket. So the price of the ticket is going to be $517. If you're not familiar with Go Wild, maybe you can do some research, because I'm not totally familiar with it, but I know that everything that the $517 includes, which is pretty much everything except food, lodging, and all of that. Like, it's just your ticket to all of the events. It's the price that you pay for the speakers that are going to be there and all of that stuff, and the swag, of course, that you'll get. So anyway, the ticket is $517 plus fees. I'm going to assume that's going to be $550 altogether. The next thing that I have is a flight. I would leave out of Atlanta, Georgia, more than likely. And at this rate, I'm going to be flying by myself. My husband claims that he wants to go, but he claims that he wants to go everywhere and he never actually goes. So I have to typically, well, he goes some places, I'm not going to say that. But for the most part, I mainly travel, I feel like, with my friends. I feel like, well, it may be 50-50, but for the most part, because my friends all live so far away, it makes more sense for us to just meet up in like a cool location instead of them traveling all the way to me or me traveling all the way to them. So when I'm meeting up with friends and family members, I feel like that's not a lot, but I feel like that's maybe like the bulk of my trips, if that makes any sense. And so I'll just go and meet up with a friend, and we'll have like a friend, trip, or whatever the case, a girl's trip, or whatever the case is. So anyway, I'm basing this off of him not coming. So a flight for me out of Atlanta would be $320, and that's through Delta. And the only issue with this, which this might change a little, is that with Delta you can really only bring a carry-on bag and of course a personal item, and I think that I can make that work as far as the stuff that I would take and and wear. But if I'm going to be coming back with a lot of swag, which is what I'm under the impression of, then I don't know that that one small suitcase or that carry-on bag would do the trick. So that's an issue that, that's something that you might want to keep in mind. Probably I would go with Southwest. So you can check 2 bags with the Southwest, and you can check 2 like large bags, not like any little carry-on bag or anything like that. And the price for a flight out of Atlanta to Vegas through Southwest is really only like $30 or $40 more. So probably I would go with that option. I mean, I should probably write that down here, but I'm just assuming that I'll be able to get a flight through Southwest or anywhere for around this price, which will be like $320. So anyway, I wouldn't really book the flight until later on, because I wouldn't book it until I actually got a ticket. So I'm assuming, because I've gone to Vegas for around this amount before, and I've gone for less than this amount, that I would pay around this amount for a flight. So the next one would be lodging. Again, this is at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So for the stay, which would be 4 days and 3 nights, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, there is a group rate, but honestly the group rate isn't that much different from what the price would be that you would get like on the actual website or through Expedia or something like that. So that would be about $615. However, there are fees. So the fee for I think it's the resort fee is, hold on, I'm getting my fees mixed up. Let me pull this up and hopefully it didn't go away. Okay, cool. So let me look at these fees, because I'm getting my fees mixed up. So the fee for the deposit, that's why I'm getting this mixed up. The deposit is $50 per day, which would be 4 days, so that would be $200. And then there's a resort fee for about $38 per accommodation per night. So if you're rooming with someone else, then each person is going to have to pay that fee basically. But I'm assuming that I would be with myself, so that fee would just be, $38 per night. And so technically it would be 4 days and 3 nights. So while the deposit would be $50 per day, which would be 4, the resort fee would be $38 per night, which would be 3. So I did 38 times 3 to get, and rounded up to get the math for $115. So with the lodging at around $615, and then the resort fees and the deposit at around $315, that would put the price of the lodging altogether at about $930. So if you would like to room with other people, you can do that at no additional cost, and you can kind of base your lodging off of that. I'm just assuming worst case scenario, and this is a worst case scenario budget because I always do a worst case scenario budget whenever I'm traveling with anybody, because I just want to be prepared. One thing that I also do is I'll bring cash for all of the things that I anticipate I'll use cash for, because it's just easier to tip in cash and all of that. And I will bring my debit card, and then I'll also bring a backup debit card that's linked to another account, our savings account. So, well, it's not an actual savings account because you can't have a debit card with a savings account, but it's a checking account that's being used for savings. So I'll also bring that whenever I travel in case there's an emergency and I need more than the amount in the bank account would cover, the main bank account, or the amount that I would have in cash. So anyway, just throwing that out there. So that's for lodging. The next one would be food. Now I would really have to, food and drink. I'm not much of a drinker, but I would really have to be really eating up some stuff for those days to reach this goal. But I think that it's definitely quite easy. So especially, it just, if you're eating, some really good food and whatnot, you can definitely hit this price, if not more. I'm just going to budget $300 because again, I'm trying to budget off of $2,500 to see what we can make work. The next one will be recreation. So I would consider this to be like gambling in Las Vegas, of course. If I were going somewhere else, I might categorize this differently. But for recreation in Vegas, I would say like gambling and things of that sort. If you want to go on like a little tour or something. Again, I've been to Vegas a couple of times, so I've pretty much done everything. So I wouldn't really see me spending a whole bunch on recreation. So I'm just going to put $135 for recreation. Again, that's because I'm trying to base this off of $2,500. The next one would be gas and parking. So I would have to drive to Atlanta and then fly out of Atlanta because it's just cheaper to go out of there. So gas, I would need a full tank, which is about $20 or so. And then I have included parking, which I have estimated at like $10 a day, but you can get it cheaper. You just have to look around. So a lot of hotels around your different airports will actually offer you a rate to park your car at the hotel than to park it at the airport, and it's typically cheaper, obviously. But I'm going to budget $60 for this. The next thing would be shopping. So this is like any shopping outside of swag or like any like souvenirs and stuff. I don't shop, period. I definitely don't shop while on trips because I don't shop, period. So therefore I don't shop while on trips. But I'm going to put shopping at $150. And then the last one would be miscellaneous. And I just think of, whenever I'm going on a trip, I just think of if I need to buy like water at the airport or a snack or like a neck pillow or like a charger or something like that that may pop up, that, you know, something that I forgot to bring, just like when we do our monthly budget. So therefore for miscellaneous, I'm just doing, I believe it is $55. So I'm going to add this up to make sure that my math is correctly, because it would be a tragedy to have incorrect math on this video. So we're just going to subtract from $2,500. So $2,500 minus $550 minus $320 minus $930 minus $300 minus $135 minus $60 minus $150, almost lost the one in my terrible writing, and $55. So that is based on a $2,500 budget. Again, this would probably be pretty realistic for me if I were to go alone, but it may not be realistic for other people, because if they're going to be rooming with people, or let's say they don't need to pay for gas to get to the airport because they're already in a major city, or they don't need to pay for parking because they're going to be dropped off. Another thing that I would throw in here for recreation too, or another thing that I thought about, is like an Uber or a Lyft or whatever if you need to get around Vegas, which pretty much everything is on the Strip in Vegas. I know the Hard Rock is a little off of the Strip because I kind of looked it up. It's kind of near the MGM Grand, but kind of not really. But I looked at it on the map. It looks near that, but really it's like a mile and some change away, which isn't really near. But, you know, a mile walk isn't that bad, you know, to get to like the major Strip, which I would consider the MGM Grand to be on the major Strip, or, you know, on the Strip. I think when I looked it up, the Hard Rock was a little bit off of the Strip. So anyway, having gone to Vegas multiple times before, I would say this would be a pretty realistic budget for like a chill weekend in Las Vegas. If I were going to be like turned up completely, then I may have to, you know, adjust this depending on the turn up. But for the most part, I think that this would be pretty realistic. Now, as far as savings go, we are currently, today's October the 11th. I'm not at work because we're closed because of Hurricane Michael, by the way. So I'm just doing a bunch of work. And this is one of the things that I actually got a request for. So I thought I would do an updated one. So anyway, as far as savings, I'm under the impression that, you know, we're basically still pretty fresh in October, for which if we were to start saving, or we wanted to start a savings tracker, we would basically start that now. And so again, we're not that far into October, so we could pretty much start now. So that would give us October, November, December, January, February, March, and April, because the trip would be at the beginning of May, so we can't really count that. We would need all of our coins together by the end of April. So that would give us 7 months to save for Go Wild. Now, if we're doing a $2,500 budget, we could easily just divide the $2,500 by 7, and that would give us roughly $358 that we would need to save every month starting right now. Now, if you wanted to save by paycheck, and let's say you got paid twice a month, then you could just divide that by 2, and that would give you about $178. So as of right now, if you saved a roughly $180-ish every single paycheck, if you get paid twice a month, then you would have all of your coinage together for Go Wild if you're basing it off of about the same budget that I would have. I have to have this stuff to function. I know some people can just YOLO and just do that kind of thing. I don't really like living my life that way, so I at least like to know what I'm getting myself into. If I go over the budget, that's fine. I'm never going to not, do an excursion or do this or do that because it's not in the budget. I would never do that. But for the most part, I just like to know what's before me. So anyway, again, saving roughly $360 a month between now and the end of April would allow you to be able to attend this trip, even though it may seem a little pricey, which it is. But again, if you break it down like that, it's not too bad. $180 every 2 weeks. I think that's, first of all, if you're planning to go Wild, I'm pretty sure that you have the funds to do so, and that you could probably swing saving $360-ish every month. That's just what I'm assuming for anybody who is going to go Wild, because they're probably going to be paying around this amount anyway. So anyway, this is just a little budget that I have thrown together. I do want to go ahead and write in 7 months to save. I have already started saving as well. $360 a month, or save, we'll just do $180 a paycheck. Again, I have already started saving because I think as soon as I realized that Go Wild was a thing, I've never gone. As soon as I realized that was a thing a couple of months ago, I started saving. So I've already started saving. So while I have already started saving, I think that conceptualizing it like this makes it way more attainable for not only me, but for other people. So anyway, this is how I intend to, this is what I intend to spend in Las Vegas, or for the Go Wild trip. I am pretty excited if everything goes how it's supposed to go. I think it'll be a good time with the people that have shared that they will be attending as well. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.